Hi, this is Dee Ray, your astrologer at AlohaAstro.com. I'd like to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel and also for your kind comments. Thank you especially for spatial harmonics. You asked for more, and that's why I'm here. I'm sorry, everyone, that I didn't get around to the full moon in Virgo last week. Partly it was because the moon was in my 4th house of home, and I needed to rest and recharge my batteries. Just briefly, the full moon occurred in the sign of Virgo, which is an earth sign, and it is very cerebral in its earthiness because it is ruled by the planet Mercury. And part of what Virgo is all about is gathering information, gathering and sorting, taking care of all the details of life. So hopefully in whatever area of your chart you have Virgo energy, you were able to focus and concentrate on one particular area and sort out, clean your closets, do some spring cleaning internally and externally in that particular area of your life. I know everybody was shouting about the supermoon. I know myself, having grown up along the coast of Long Island, that when this has occurred before, we saw significant extremes in tides, and I'm sure everybody's emotions were also tweaked just a little bit more by the fact that the moon had a stronger gravitational pull on us all, and we are definitely affected by new moons and full moons in terms of our emotional state. We do have a new moon coming up at the beginning of April, and right now I'm busy writing horoscopes and trends for the week coming up, which will be posted on my website on Monday. So you can check back and visit AlohaAstro.com to see what's up ahead for you. When you do read your horoscope there, please read for your rising sign also. A horoscope is based on what's known as a solar chart. So I'm looking at the planets for each sign to see where they are, and then I attempt to condense and distill all the possible scenarios that the planetary energy may create for you if, let's say, you were an Aries with the Sun, Aries being the first house, and then if you're Taurus, Taurus being the first house, and so on around the wheel. And if you know your rising sign, what that does is, let's say you're Gemini rising like I am, then Gemini would be your first house, and the planets would be placed in the chart according to where they actually are. So if you know your rising sign, read your horoscope for your rising sign, because it will be more accurate. It will actually tell you energetically where the planets are and what they are doing in what areas of your life. Then take the two horoscopes and kind of meld them together, because astrology works in layers. You will always have certain qualities of your sun sign, but you are more than just the sun. There's so much more going on than just that one planet within your chart. And particularly if you have a lot of planets in another sign perhaps, or you have a very strong ascendant, you may not seem like your sun sign at all. I think that's partly why horoscopes can get such a bum rap from people, because everybody's different. Not everybody is entirely like their sun sign. Okay, I'm going to take a look at what's going on. I'm going to open up my software program here. One of these days when I upgrade my computer, I'll be able to actually bring things up on screen with the proper type of program so that you can see what I'm looking at. But for now, I'm just going to have to wing it. My computer doesn't have the capability to run one of those programs. It's just a little too old and too tired. I wanted to let you know that there's some heavy stuff going on this weekend, and it starts today. New energies that you have to adapt and adjust to, and to take everything right now with a grain of salt, to slow down, calm down, exercise a little bit of patience. Patience is particularly difficult for everybody right now because we have the Sun in Aries, and it is making a conjunction to the planet Uranus, and that's kind of like some fiery energy with electrical energy, and everybody's fuse is very short, and people are sparking very quickly and igniting and behaving very erratically. And to compound that difficulty right now, those two planets are in a square aspect. they're in a square aspect to Pluto, and Pluto is in Capricorn. Think of Pluto like lava. It's concentrated, intense, very volatile energy. It has a lot to do with issues of control, issues of power, obsession, life and death and transformation, upheaval, the destruction of something, but out of that destruction and rubble, new stuff can arise. We have it in Capricorn, which is Earth, and it is a cardinal sign, so it's not very yielding. And that square energy, squares make a 90-degree angle, and they create some friction, and it's difficult for the planets to assist each other well. They make a kind of a friction with each other, and work is usually what comes out of it. And if you're aware that there's difficulty, then you can do the work more easily. I sometimes think that our squares within our own natal charts, our squares and our oppositions, are what we're here to do. Our trines and our sextiles are the easy or the good aspects that you'll read about in astrology books that say, oh, this is wonderful, you have such and such trine, whatever. And everybody wants to look at their trines and their sextiles, and everybody wants to avoid their squares and their oppositions. But I see people with trines and sextiles abounding who sit on their lazy butts and never get anything done. When you have those natural talents and attributes, it's too easy to dismiss them, take them for granted, and not work at them. And conversely, when you have a lot of squares and oppositions, you're here to get a lot done, you're here to go through challenges, and you're here to learn and to grow. So the squares and the oppositions can be good things. So today we've got a lot of squares and oppositional energy going on, and it's a time to stretch and grow, and it's a time for change. And Uranus is a planet that says change, change, and Aries, Sun in Aries is saying now, 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 I want it now. It's very impatient and it's very headstrong. It is another cardinal sign, and it's a fire sign, and it wants to force an issue. So right now, that square is new. You'll feel it all weekend long. When a new energy settles into place, we sometimes feel it more intensely until we adapt to it and accept that it's sitting there and that we have to deal with it. So today could be particularly instances of road rage, people getting very angry and irritated when they don't get what they want, when they're thwarted. In terms of earth changes too, and what's going on in the world at large, I just have concerns that there could be extremes of weather, there could be earthquakes, volcanic eruption. It's a very unsettled energy. Now, the positive things going on today, we have the moon making a a trine to Mercury in Aries, and it is also making a sextile to Venus and Neptune conjunct in Aquarius. To me, this indicates that the higher mind is going to prevail, or to help to diffuse things, and that you can look at things as glass half empty, glass half full. And if you concentrate on gratitude instead of a negative attitude, things are just going to be easier, and all the conflict or all the feeling of frustration or confusion or being thwarted is going to lessen and dissipate, and you'll do the work of the square. We also have an opposition going on between Jupiter in Aries, and Jupiter's growth and expansion in a fire sign that says, I want to get out there and I want to explore, I want to be a pioneer. So Jupiter wants to go into new territory here. It really wants to grow and expand. And it's making an opposition to Saturn in Libra, which keeps kind of putting the brakes on, pulling the reins in, saying you have to consider not just yourself but everybody else. Or there are rules to follow, and you have to look at the rules. You have to do what's right. You have to follow the protocol. And the Sun and Uranus in Aries are saying, no, I'm going to break down those rules. I'm going to break down the whole form and structure. And that's Pluto in Capricorn in that square. Just wants to break things apart for the heck of it. And some of that breaking apart for the heck of it can be good ultimately, and some of it can be destructive. What you need to do in your own life, and also when people are in your face with something, is to ask the higher question: what is the ultimate goal of this? Am I doing this just to do it for the heck of it? Is this group or organization or other person enforcing something or doing something just for the heck of it? Does this really need to be changed and broken apart, or should I leave it alone? Should they be leaving it alone? We also have positive energy between the Venus-Neptune conjunction in Aquarius, which is very humanitarian minded. This is agape. This is heart-centered love for all people, and it's making a favorable aspect to the moon today. This means that you can have you can step aside from your impatience, confusion, irritability this weekend, and know that basically people are good at their heart center, and if they're out of control or they're behaving erratically, that's not who they truly are. Look beyond the effects in the world and look back to the cause, and I think I've mentioned that before too. Some of the greater cosmic lessons that are going on right now with outer planetary transits that are affecting us long term have to do with that, to step outside of ourselves and look at the higher process that's going on, and choosing the higher path in any way that you possibly can. Moon square Mars today in Pisces. The first thing I thought when I saw that was, oh, crybaby. It just is an energy of confusion, sadness, frustration. It reminds me of a tantruming child who just doesn't know enough to be able to put words to their feelings, so they get into acting out. There can be an emotional acting out. But fortunately, Mars is making a semi-sextile to Mercury in Aries, and the Moon is also making that trine to Mercury in Aries. So there's an outlet here. Verbalize. Don't carry it inside you, or it's going to affect your physical body. It's going to drain you and make you very fatigued. If you're confused, if you're irritated, if you're sad, if you're blue, if you're stepping back and judging yourself, saying, well, I don't know why I'm feeling this way, I shouldn't be feeling this way, acknowledge all your emotions, express them verbally or write them. This can also be very creative energy, though. Out of this square of Mars Moon, all those crazy emotions and confused emotions and crybaby emotions and all of that angst and drama can be very creative. So you can take that creativity, if you are naturally talented in sculpture or music or drama or whatever it is that you like to do, go turn to your art this weekend as an outlet, or write or speak, communicate with whoever your best friends are. Sagittarius, the moon in Sagittarius is the sign of friends, and Aries is the sign of self, the individual. So get in touch with your friends, talk to your friends, say, hey, how's your life? This is my life. It's going crazy. I have this or that feeling. Are you feeling the same way? Connect with people and share those feelings, and that should help moderate some of the difficult energy this weekend. The good news is that as I'm looking ahead to next week, things are going to go much more your way, and they're going to feel more in control, and a lot of the stress and pressure that's building this weekend is going to dissipate, and it looks like a much gentler and easier week next week. So enjoy your weekend, and thank you for stopping by to visit. And now I'm going to shut this down. Take care.